Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Sunny Side Up with Nicole. I have some seedling with me today and there are some tomato seedling. I'm going to plant them in my garden bed. And we are going to talk about everything that you need to know about growing tomatoes. Let's get started. Let's talk about before, during, and after. Before you plant your tomato seedlings, make sure you plant them 2 weeks after the last frost. The second one is make sure you find a spot that can provide 6 to 8 hour full sun. Tomato plants just love sunny area. Now let's talk about how. I'm going to show you how I plant my tomatoes. Tomato has very big root system, so we need a big hole for it. They actually prefer to get buried a little bit so that the stem can also root out. But here's the trick. Before I plant them to the hole, I have collected some eggshell. Eggshell can release very nice calcium in the soil, so it provides enough calcium to my tomato plants. If the tomato plants do not have enough calcium, you will see some dark spot on the tomato fruit itself. This is not good. So I basically just crumble it. And then put my tomato plants here. Also, you have to plant them 2 feet apart. Now, let me dig the second hole. Make sure your hole is deep enough. So right now my plant is that tall, about 1 feet tall. And after I put it in, of course I'm going to crumble some eggshell. Do you see it's way shorter now? Tomato plants need strong support, so you need to have either a tomato cage or a stake. If you are going to use stake, you need to put it right next to your tomato plants and twine it. When they grow up, they will receive enough support. If you're going to use tomato cage, it's even easier. All you have to do is stick it in. Just be very careful because we don't want to hurt our tomato plants. Okay, I think it's very secure. Another interesting trick that I heard from the internet is to put a raw egg in the hole first and then bury your tomato plants. Now I have my egg. Don't forget, Sunny Side Up with Nicole is my egg. It's that easy. So I just put the eggshell here as well and put my tomato plants here. This one I start from seeds. And those 2 are the seedlings I got from Lowe's or Home Depot. And the same thing, I'm going to give it a cage or a stake later. After you plant your tomato seedlings into your garden bed, make sure you fertilize them at least every 1 to 2 weeks. If you don't fertilize them, they will still produce fruit for you. However, the fruits will get smaller and smaller, and you might see some disease on it because it's lack of nutrition. Also, look out for caterpillars. They love to eat the tomato leaves and tomato fruits. Let's talk about pruning. You may have heard from people saying that you need to prune your tomato plants in order to get more fruit. That is correct. However, you don't have to do the pruning. if you're happy with how much tomatoes that your tomato plants could produce for you. So I think this step is optional. Watering. Tomato plants prefer well-drained soil. So if you're not quite sure when to water your tomato plants, stick your fingers into the soil about 2 to 3 inches deep. If it's dry, go ahead and water it. If it's wet or moist, you don't have to do it. Skip a day and then do it the next day. If you water them too often, you will see their leaves gradually turn yellow. If you guys have any questions about growing tomatoes, please leave a comment below. That's all I have for you today. Happy gardening!